Good afternoon, students. Welcome back to our chapter Principle of Inheritance and Variation. And again, as we have already talked about in our previous videos about the whole of the Mendelism, as well as the his monohybrid cross, as well as dihybrid cross, as well as the various laws that he has deduced from his experiments. Now, as we have looked in his experiments, and we all know that whenever the progenies they are obtained, either they resemble the parents completely, either of the parents, whether the recessive type or the dominant type, or they do not resemble either of the parents, but they inherit the mixed trait, as we have already seen in the incomplete dominance. Now, today we are going to talk about when the progenies they inherit the characters of both the parents simultaneously, and this procedure occurs through codominance. This is an exception to Mendelism. So when we are talking about codominance, codominance can be very well expressed by the human blood group. As we all know that the human blood group is of ABO type. It is ABO type. Now, just to proceed on further, we should first know that what are the genes that are controlling this blood group. There is a gene I, which is basically responsible for controlling the ABO type of blood group in human beings. Now, what happens that on the membranes of the RBC, there are certain sugar polysaccharide chains that are present, and this very gene I, it is responsible for controlling the type of the polysaccharide chain that is present on the RBCs, membrane of the RBCs. And this gene I has got three types of alleles, that is IA, IB and small I. Here IA and IB, they are responsible for producing different type of the polysaccharide chains, but small I, it is not responsible for producing any type of the sugar polymer. Clear? So accordingly we get as we all know that human beings, the cells of the human beings, they are diploid in nature. Diploid in nature means they contain two sets of chromosomes. One set of chromosome is acquired from the maternal side, and one set of chromosomes is acquired from the paternal side, and accordingly we get six combinations from this. This is chromosomes from parent A, that is either the male or the female, and this is parent A, or you can say parent 1, and this is the parent number 2, and this is the blood group, the genotype of the blood group, and this is now the blood group. Clear? So now if parent 1 is having IA type of the blood group and parent 2 it is also having IA type of the blood group, then the genotype in the diploid stage is represented as IA and the blood group is A type. If the blood group, second case, if the blood group is IA and the other blood group is IB type, then the genotype that we obtain here is IA, IB, and the blood group that we obtain is AB. Now the third case, that if the blood group is IA type and another parent is having the allele that is small I, then the genotype is IA, I, then the blood group type is again A type. Then in the fourth case, that is if the parent is having allele IB and parent second it is also having the allele IB, then the genotype that we obtained is IB type, and the blood group that we obtained is of B type. Fifth case, that is when the allele for the blood group is IB and another parent is having small I, then in that very particular case it is IBI, genotype is IBI, and the type of the blood group is D type. Then sixth case, that if both the parents they are having small I, then in that very particular case both of them are going to be recessive for the trait, that is they are not going to produce any type of the sugar polymers on their membranes of the RBC. Therefore this blood group over here is O type. So accordingly we have obtained our four type of the blood groups, that is A blood group, B blood group, AB and O type. So this is how we can very well see over here that both the alleles, that is alleles from both the parents, they are contributing in defining the type of the blood group in the upcoming generation, and this very procedure is known as codominance. Now there is a small thing, that is a back cross and a test cross, that was to be taught with monohybrid cross, and that was a small terminology that was left over. So I am going to complete up with this terminologies, and then I am going to proceed over with chromosomal theory of inheritance. So first we are just going to talk about back cross and test cross. So when we are talking about the back cross is a process wherein the members of the F2 generation, they are crossed with either of the parents, either the dominant parent or the recessive parents. Therefore it is said to be the back cross when the members of the F2 generation are crossed with either dominant or recessive type. So in our Mendelian monohybrid cross, the parents were capital T, and the members of the F1 generations, they were capital T, small t. So we can have a cross with either of them. I am going to show it with both of them. So accordingly, if this is crossed with this, then what happens? So gametes formed over here will be capital T, and the gametes formed over here will be capital T, small t. So capital T, capital T, capital T, capital T, capital T, capital T, it is TT. Capital T, small t, it is capital T and small t, again capital T and small t. So the probability of having tall types morphologically, it is 100%, and genotype, it is 50-50%. Again, when we are going to have a cross with this, then small t, capital T, small t. So accordingly it will be capital T, small t, capital T, small t, small t, small t, small t, small t. So again here the ratio that we obtain is 1:1. So this is what is back cross. Now when we are going to talk about the test cross. A test cross is a cross wherein the members of the F1 generation, they are crossed with the recessive parents. When members of the F1 generation are crossed with recessive type, a recessive parent. So again, when we look at the our monohybrid cross, then the recessive types were TT, small tt, and the members of the F1 generation were capital T, small t. So accordingly, when we are going to obtain the gametes that will be produced are for this type small t, it will be small t, and for this it is going to be capital T and small t. Again it is capital T, small t, small t, here small t, and small t. Again the ratio that we obtain is 1:1. So here we have completed up with the back cross and the test cross. Now we are going to proceed up with the chromosomal theory of inheritance. When we are talking about the chromosomal theory of inheritance, we already know that Mendel, as there were no medical advancement at that time, Mendel called factors. There were certain terminologies that were used for a particular substance which is known as the factor in Mendelian time, and these factors were very much responsible for regulating the traits in the upcoming generation. Later on, with the advancement of the medical technology, these factors were named as the genes. And later on, the advancement in the medical science took place, and discovery of the microscopes and all took place. Then later on it was discovered that the characters of gene, or mode of expression of genes was found to be parallel to the mode of expression of the chromosomes. That is, the activities of the genes were found to be parallel to the activities of the chromosomes. So it was now found that the chromosomes were basically responsible for regulating a particular trait. How does this happen, and why we can say that these are the chromosomes which are responsible for basic mechanism of inheritance or heredity? Some of the scientists like Sutton and Boveri and all, they have carried out a couple of experiments, and accordingly during mitotic and meiotic division, what they observed, supposedly this is the diploid cell, and as we all know, in a diploid cell there are two sets of the chromosomes. In this video only I have told you all about this, that in a diploid cell two sets of the chromosomes are there, and one of the set is the paternal set, and the one of the set is the maternal set, that is the offspring. It has obtained one set from the father as well as one set from the mother, and these sets of the chromosome, they lie in a homozygous condition, in a homologous condition. Homologous means the chromosomes containing the same genes at the same loci, they are placed near to each other. Getting my words? Supposedly I am showing it by only one chromosome, I am not showing all the 23 chromosomes as it is found in the human beings. So supposedly this is chromosome that is from the paternal side, and this is the chromosome that is from the maternal side. If this is the first gene which is regulating the character T, then it is T means the height of the organism. Then another characters that is controlled by the gene is another gene is the color of the eye, that it is either black or it is brown. So it is denoted by capital B and small b. So accordingly, these are the alleles which are present in the homologous chromosomes. Now at the time of the gamete formation, which is a very prerequisite for sexual reproduction to take place, what happens at the time of the gamete formation? Reduction division takes place, and we all know during reduction division the chromosome number is reduced to half. That is when the gametes, they are going to be formed. Then the two daughter individual cells that are going to be formed, they are going to receive the either of the set of the chromosome. That is, one of the cell is going to receive the paternal chromosome, and one of the cell it is going to receive the maternal chromosome. So if this is the paternal chromosome, then this is going to be entering into this containing capital T and capital B genes, and if this is the maternal chromosome, then it is going to contain the recessive types of these genes, that is small t and small b. So here we can see that during meiotic divisions, it is found that the homologous, the members of the homologous chromosomes, they enter individually. That is, they segregate out individually of one another, and they enter into the gametes separately. And this is how the traits, they are controlled. That is why very often we find ourselves to be resembling ourselves to the father, or we find resembling ourselves to the mother. Further on, I am going to relate how variations takes place in my next video, which deals up with linkage and crossing over. So, thank you.